Memes. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Most people sort of know what a meme is. It's this sort of picture that you see all across the internet, but do we really understand what these memes are, what they've come from, and what they actually do and affect us in our everyday lives? So the first question that we need to understand when exploring what effects memes have on us is that what exactly is a meme? What are its foundations? Where have memes actually started? One of the most famous memes that came before the age of the internet was Kilroy. Now, a meme doesn't have to be something that's on the internet. It's just something that is created by the culture and changes the culture because of it. And Kilroy is an example of this because people throughout World War II would draw this figure of Kilroy on bombs and airplanes and different things like that in order to give the troops a higher morale. They also would use it as a symbol of freedom as the Allied forces were liberating Europe. They would draw Kilroy on these different areas, and it was a meme because it was transferable and it was something that everybody knew, hey, look, there's Kilroy. Now, we need to look into the next part of memes, which is meme creation. How exactly are these pictures of different things, how are they created, what exactly makes them a meme? Now, some different types of memes can just be created by the internet when you get one simple picture. Now, this is the case with the Michael Phelps meme. Back in the Olympics in Rio, Michael Phelps made this very distinctive face, and it didn't take long for Twitter to immediately memify this thing. There was a picture that had a lot of exposure that a lot of people saw, so they then went ahead and memed it, and they made it adaptable to different people and different life experiences. Now, some events are inherently more memeable than others. For instance, the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is very memeable, and usually you have several memes come out of the Super Bowl. Why is this? This is because it is pop culture. The Super Bowl itself is pop culture, and you have millions and millions and millions of people every year watch the Super Bowl. Therefore, it's more adaptable to pop culture, and there's more people who are actually going to be looking at those memes, and there's a wider audience for them. Some memes don't actually have this widespread to where there's an event that happens and the meme automatically has millions and millions of hits. Some, like this Wolverine meme, don't really start off that big. They slowly grow across 4chan and Reddit, and they become bigger memes throughout time. So you can have these memes where they're more organic. They're not flash in the pan memes where they come and they go. They slowly grow more organic and they sort of mature slower. So how exactly are these memes actually distributed? We have the memes created. How are they getting out to everybody, in their own little groups? So we're going to take a look at two different memes and how were they distributed, how did they spread. So our first meme is the Colin Jazz Hands meme. So this was created during the Richmond tournament in 2018. The other one is the Change My Mind meme. So these have two different distinct audiences. The Colin Jazz Hand meme is really just for people who were at the Richmond tournament or in CCFSC. So it was only shared really in the CCFSC group. Why? Because most of the memes that were made only related to that specific group of people. They were only debate memes or Colin memes or anything like that. Now the Change My Mind memes have a much wider audience because you don't really need much context for them. You can really say change my mind on every position you have on the internet. And as we know, the internet has a lot of different positions. So this means that there's really a wide amount of places where this meme can go, and that's why it became such a hit, because it can be adapted to mean several different things. For instance, you can have I hate Sam like Anakin, or you can have pineapple goes on pizza if you think pineapple's bad. Now here's another one. We have the Donald Trump executive work meme. And you might think, well, this is just executive work. But the reason why this is so memeable is because of the options. You can literally do anything with somebody who just holds up a blank thing. You can have, lightsabers, you can have the Death Star. There's so many different options. You can have Harambe, Dallas Cowboy memes. The reason why this meme spread so easily is because of its ease of use. Because it was easy to meme, that meant that it was easier for people to meme it. And because of that, it was easier to spread across different distribution channels. Through the NFL meme groups, through Harambe meme groups, through Star Wars meme groups. It was able to spread easier because it can be memed to mean several different things. And another thing is that these can come out of pop culture. They can come out of popular movies like The Office, or in this case, Lord of the Rings. You can just have something that's very easily spread because one does not simply, you can easily meme it and it's already in pop culture. So if it's in pop culture, it's automatically easier to spread because of that. Now, some memes don't really fit into this category. They're really just for one specific purpose. They don't have much of a widespread. You don't see Star Wars memes of Ron Swanson. Ron Swanson memes are really a very particular type of meme. It has a piece of text, and it has to be something that Ron Swanson would say or do. This means that the type of meme is very close and it's very cohesive within its meme family. And it also means that you're not going to have that much differential between a Ron Swanson meme, because it's all going to have what Ron Swanson is saying. So that means that this meme really doesn't spread that much. It might go in a few Parks and Rec meme groups, but it's not going to be a widespread meme because of how small its group is. Now, another case of this is the Joe Biden, Barack Obama memes. Now, these memes have very, very close ties. They involve Barack Obama and Joe Biden, and they have to have generally Joe Biden doing something funny or dumb. And this keeps them very small, but it doesn't mean that they're going to spread that widely. And even though if they are spread widely, they're a Obama-Biden meme is generally the same throughout the different memes. They don't have that much differential between them. So what are the different good things that come? We've talked about how are these memes created, how are they distributed throughout everything, how are they good, or are they bad, or what's really the good of memes? So one of the good things about memes is that it can actually improve our political discourse and our overall discourse online. Because if you have a meme, they're easily shareable, they're easily connectable. You're more connected to an image than just a pile of words on Facebook or Twitter or wherever. This means that you're more connected to the image. And also, generally, instead of attacking the person individually, you're attacking the meme itself. This creates a disconnect between people who might be getting in fights online about politics or anything like that. And it makes it much more personal, and it makes it much better if you're just dealing with an image and you're not actually dealing with the person. Another thing that it can do is it creates community. And this really has two major effects. It creates a larger online community, and it can help reinforce your own small individual communities. For instance, the College Jazz Hand meme, that helped the CC of SC meme community. It made that community better, and it brought them together because of that meme. And this can happen in your own small groups with your friends, if you have a group chat or anything like that. They help bring that together. But memes also serve a larger purpose when they get everybody out of the internet community and they bring them more together, because we have all these basic things that we think are funny, or these memes, and it helps bring us together as an internet community. Now, what's exactly the bad part about memes? Because we've talked about the good, but what can be bad about memes? Now, first about this is the Alfred Newman. Now, you might recognize this guy from the cover of Mad. And where this actually came from was around the 1700s in England. This character was created in order to give stereotypes of Irish people. And this had a lot of negative stereotypes of Irish people. And this is bad because they just made these stereotypes more common, and it put them into the common culture. And it used a very spreadable image in order to spread bad ideas about Irish people that aren't true and were bad. Now, one of the more famous examples was Star Wars Kid. Now, this is a kid named Bryce Aslan in Ottawa, Canada, and he had a video of him swinging around a pike like a lightsaber like Darth Maul. And he didn't know that he was being filmed, and he was doing this in the privacy of his own home. But his friends got a hold of it and they shared it online. And very soon, he was meme-ified. He was put in South Park. They put the Star Wars label, they put him in Magic cards, they had him on Fruit Ninja, and this caused major problems because he had to go to a psychiatrist because of all the different mental problems that had been caused because of the online bullying and death threats that were caused because of this video. And he was significantly harmed because of this. So this leads us into the true impact of memes. There's some good, there's some bad, but what is the impact of bad memes? And the impact of bad memes is cyberbullying. Now, memes don't create cyberbullying on their own, but they can be an asset of cyberbullying. Cyberbullies can use these memes in order to attack certain people or attack wide groups. And this is really where we need to be careful about our memes. So what can we do with these memes? We need to make sure that whenever we're memeing, we're not being mean to one specific person or being mean to a group. We just need to have memes that are fun and bring us up as a community, that bring out all the good things of meme, that make us feel better and more connected as a world. And what we really need to remember is that in the end, we need to make sure that we're memeing responsibly and that we are not having all these bad memes that are spreading, and that we keep our memes good for our community. Thank you.